I want my kids to be able to talk to me about anything. And so if there is constant curiosity about who your kid is, curiosity about who you are, conversations about the fact that you're examining who you are, your kids feel so much free to come to you with things that they're struggling with, or
right. Or even in themselves, to be curious about themselves. Yes, curiosity begets curiosity, right?
I mean, I have to say a powerful one that I kind of hate to admit, and I kind of hate to talk about, but whatever. You talk about your kids, I'm going to talk about and he deserves it, I guess. But so my 17-year-old son, I busted him vaping, which I think is the scourge of this generation. It is just, it's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And knowing that I've given him all the information I could possibly give him.
Yeah.
Medical information, scientific information, everything I could give him. Knowing that me having my beliefs as I have them and feeling so strongly about it was not necessarily enough to not get him to ever do it. And I'm also not the kind of parent, I'm not going to ground him for his whole life or follow him around, or it's just not who I am. I'm like, you're 17 years old. Like, this is your life. You're going to go to college in a year. You have to make these choices. And this really hard conversation led to him being really curious about, what does it mean, like, to be addicted to nicotine? What does that feel like? What is that? And so he wasn't addicted. He just, I busted him with, he had one of those stupid vapes, and it happened to be at a time when he was going away somewhere for 10 days where there was going to be no access to that at all. And so he said, you know what I want you to do, Mom? He was like, I'm not going to tell you right now that I'm 17. I'm not going to tell you that I'm never going to have a hit or whatever you can call it off of vape again for the rest of my life. But I will tell you that if you check in on me, we can have real conversations about it. Like every weekend, if you'll say, like, how much did you do it? And then he's like, I'll be honest with you. And he, over that first 10-day period of not having access to it, he was like, it was really fascinating. I thought about it today. Like on the third day, I was like, you thought about it? And he was like, yeah, I just thought about it. And I thought, oh, does the fact that I thought about it mean that I am addicted to it? But I'm not physically addicted, but just the fact that my mind wanted it, like, what does that mean? And point is, he was learning about his own mind. And he was like, I feel pretty clear at the end of the 10 days. He's like, I clearly wasn't physically addicted. But I said, but if you had thought about it and had it, would you have done it? He was like, probably. Because, like, why not? I mean, I don't even like them. I've never even tried them. But if I had it and you told me I could never do it, I'd probably want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just the point being of, like, letting him be curious about that, instead of everything I wanted to do was, like, just ground him and make him sit and watch documentaries about what it does to your brain. And all that.
Yeah.
But he got to take his power back on, being curious about addiction and the choices he makes and what he wants to do. And anyway, you get the point.
I do, but you inspired him to become curious.
Yeah.
About that issue.
Because think how bad it was, because he knew all the reasons not to do it.
Totally.
And he still kind of was like, yeah, but I mean, I kind of want to do it. So that feels bad. Like as a human being, it feels weird to not really want to do something, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
So instead to be curious about it and like really get in there about, well, what is that about myself and this issue? Like, do I really want to do it? Do I not?
Is it because my friends are doing it?
Exactly.
Is it 'cause it's
all
cool?
that.
Is it because it tastes good?
Man, you can hear it so much differently when you know why they're doing it. Because if he's doing it because his friends are doing it, that's a totally different conversation than he's doing it because he's addicted.
Right.
Totally different conversation.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's cool that happened, that you guys were able to go through that, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah, I mean, and then, he talked about it with his older brother, and then, I mean, now it's a part of it's just a conversation, which I think, it would be so much easier to be like, just don't do it, but I really don't want to know if you are doing it, because it's,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it had its upside.
Totally.
Sure.
If that's the worst thing he does, you're okay. You're doing fine. I mean, we talk about this with our kids all the time. It's scary to have kids that age and think what they're doing.
Well, I mean, this is, it's not what we're supposed to be talking about, but I mean, it is fascinating how many kids that age in high school cannot sleep through the night. They are so addicted to nicotine that their bodies wake them up to have a puff of that stupid vape.
Are you kidding?
Oh, it is an epidemic.
I didn't know
that. It is so bad. They can't, they've banned it from schools, but they can't get through class. They have to go. I mean, it is so bad.
You know, this something comes up for me in this, which is getting in front of these conversations with your kids, because like my kids are 7 and 9, and we talk about nicotine vaping already because it's present. It's present in their lives. It's, you know, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so like kind of role playing with your kids, I think is really important. What are you going to do if you're like, all my friends are doing it and I'm in this social situation? Like, what are some things you can say?
And that's actually part of the thing with vaping, at least in my son's experience, is it's interesting. It's the natural, when someone has it, you just automatically pass it. Like it's very shared. It's, I don't know whether that's, you kind of want everyone else to be doing it because then everyone's bad, but more so than other things is just seems like it's just a shared thing. Doesn't matter whose it is. Everyone, they just kind of share them.
It's social.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if this is a bigger conversation and completely off topic, but our kids they're so into social media and that's how they connect. I wonder all the time if they don't understand how to connect in ways that we were forced to, you know, or we had to talk to each other. You know, we all played in the street until the street lights came on and you fought and you dealt with each other, and that interpersonal doesn't happen. And it only happens in something like sharing a vape pen. Because it's something, you know, that they can all do together instead of building a fort in the woods. They missed that step.
But it is an action of connection. I mean, I like the way you're pointing that. It's like the 5 languages of love, right? I mean, that is like a social, that's a way to say, hey, we're friends.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way before.
We're same tribe, same group. We understand each other. I don't know. That worries me about this generation. They're so much better than us at some things, but at those kind of interpersonal subtleties, sort of, I think they have a harder time.
I mean, they break up with each other over text.
Yeah, I know. There's no personal. I was watching Colin Quinn's special last night, and he was making fun of kids these days that take pictures of their body parts and send them, text them. He was like, you know, in my day, you took a Polaroid of your dick, and then you had to go, I'm going to go walk this Polaroid to this girl down the street and show her my dick, and people would be like, are you crazy? And now it's just like how they work. That's so what they do, is they take pictures of body parts and text them to each other.
Or airdrop. This is a new one that I just learned about, and where boys will walk by girls at the mall or whatever. And I mean, obviously you have to accept an airdrop. So if you don't know who's trying to airdrop you something, you, by the way, tell your daughters, do not accept it. But boys will try to just walk by them now in the mall and airdrop a picture of their junk.
What?
Yes. And now you have a picture of their penis on your phone.
Right.
Like, you got to get rid of that.
And then he's going to run for state senator, and you've got a picture of his penis,
exactly.
right? So maybe
tell your sons also
thing,
not
right?
to send pictures of the penis.
Tell your sons that too if you have to. That's so sad.
I don't know. I almost think that phenomena is now like nobody thinks that's sexy. There's nobody in the world that thinks that that's sexy.
Half the adults in the entertainment business think that flashing their penis is a normal thing to do. I think it's the weirdest thing ever.
I almost think that now they just think it's funny. They're like, let's see how far we can go with this.
Creepy people who lost their jobs, it was because of that.
Whoever
thought that anyone wanted to see that?
I never have.
You never have seen it?
No, I never have thought, hey, I'd like to see a penis right now. Anybody got a penis they could show me? I don't really walk around like that.
Not a random penis. Nope, never.
I'm not afraid of it, but I don't necessarily want to gaze at it. It's not something that people, you know, I don't know. I've never needed to see. That didn't quantify or qualify anybody for dating in my day.
Or like for being a good boss that you think that your women who work for you want to see that.
No.